Move-in day, when we arrived on campus, we checked in at admin, and we were all a little bit nervous because we didn't know what to expect, and we were all jet lagged, like from the 20-something hour flight we just were on. But Mom had split us all into different houses, so Tony and Greg and I were in one house, and our house is actually pretty nice. It's very big. We all have our own bedrooms and bathrooms, and then we all share a common area like our kitchen, dining room, and living room.
I've never seen waterfalls before, so I was so excited and took a bunch of pictures, and it was just really pretty. And I mean, I'm not a nature girl at all, but seeing that was definitely fun.
The scenery was just like amazing because I love mountains, so I felt like that was my place.
One of the last stops on our Blue Mountains trip was to a wild kangaroo farm, I guess you would say. And we got to feed kangaroos, and they were so funny. They have different personalities. It's awesome to see them in their natural habitat.
So for me, I know I always wanted to take surf lessons, and then when I figured out that we could go to surf camp in Australia, I was like, so doing that. So we picked up a bus on campus and drove 4 hours south to a beach called 7 Mile Beach, and that's where we would be having camp for the weekend.
When we got there, it was freezing, and we're like, how are we gonna go surfing in the morning? But it warmed up. We put our wetsuits on, and they're so hard to get on. It took like 15 minutes. You look ridiculous trying to get it on and off. Anyway, first day, we learned all the skills, and I was like, oh, I have to stand up now, this is gonna be a task. And I did it on the first try. I don't know how. It was so exciting and fun, and you just feel like you're floating on the water.
It took me a while to stand up. I didn't stand up until the last day, but I actually finally got it, and I was proud of myself. So we went to the Sydney Harbour Bridge to climb it, and I was actually expecting to climb on the side, literally climb it. And when I found out that we were doing the stairs, I was like, oh. But the scenery, everything that you saw, it was a great point to see everything in the city.
Climbing the bridge was scary at first. You're you have this harness on, and you're linked to everything, and you have to train. You go through training, and it was pretty sketch climbing up and down the ladders because you're I'm gonna fall in the water, and this is not fun anymore. But it was good.
The cars were rushing by and the ladders were shaking, so I was kind of freaked out about that. But once you got past the ladders and you were climbing, the views were beautiful. It's definitely worth the scare of the ladders. So Whitsunday Island's by far the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life. For One Fish, Two Fish, I think that was definitely my favorite part of the trip. The water was unreal, crystal clear blue, the sand white as ever.
Had the opportunity to go whitewater rafting in Cairns, and the instructor taught us the different paddling techniques, and then each little waterfall was a different intensity. So it started at like 3 and then we got to a 5th one, which is the highest intensity, and during one of them we all got kicked out of the boat. We all fell off. It was so funny.
We started off with skydiving in the beginning. We get there and we're all so nervous, like we just keep thinking about what's actually gonna happen. So we finally get to the top at 14,000 feet and the jumper kind of shoves you out of the plane and that's it, you're done. You're just free falling. Were pretty great. There were some pictures we looked terrified. Some pictures looked like we were having the best time of our lives. But it was the best time ever.
G'day, and welcome to AJ Hackett Bungee here in Cairns, Australia. Let's go take a bit of a look upstairs.
Later that day, we go bungee jumping. But they call your name, and you go up there, and they're talking to you, trying to keep you calm, and they tell you to put your toes just off the ledge, and that's it. You just jump.
Oh yeah, beautiful little touch of the juice for you, and a nice rebound. Nice work, well done, and congratulations, and welcome to the wide world of bungee.
It's a very artsy city. They have these huge statues that are just lining down this river and awesome bridges. There's a bridge that has a bunch of locks on it, so people come with their loved ones, kind of like the bridge that's in France.
My favorite part of Melbourne was the Great Ocean Road tour that we did. It started early one morning and we got back late that night, but we got to see the 12 Apostles, London Bridge, Lockhart Gorge, all these cool land formations.
I can't choose this best trip out of this whole entire experience, but Melbourne was definitely at the top of it.